I mentioned in my last video that I just made the biggest cricket card purchase of my life, and I went through the unsigned cards. Now it's time to go for the signed cards. But before I jump into the actual cards themselves, I just thought a shout out to the seller. This was a guy in Australia, really big time collector, passionate about the hobby, kind of getting away from it a little bit, or at least downsizing a bit. But he shipped me this top loader binder, and it came like in this. It felt like the most classy and best quality shipping I've ever seen. So shout out to you Aussies who know how to ship this well. I think it was probably the best ship package I've ever seen. But yeah, top loader binder, my first one of those. Let's get into it. And I will say, I know sometimes my videos can be really long. This one's going to start really strong. I think it's strong throughout. There's great cards on pretty much every page, but the beginning and end are just pretty incredible. So let's get into it. So this one I actually did not buy from him. There's a few that I had bought while we were in the middle of our deal. We actually went back and forth for a few weeks. He took a lot of pictures. I responded. We went through prices. It was all really smooth. But in the meantime, there were a few cards that came up for sale in Australia, and he was fine with me shipping them to him. And this is one of them. So this is, a card that I had wanted for a really long time. Only 150 of these were the special signed ones. This is number 46. But was really happy to pick this one up. A couple have sold since. Thankfully I think I got a good price for what I paid. But yeah, some great Warnies in here. This is one of his rookies from 1993. This is actually one of my favorite Warren cards. Caricature. This is the County Print Services one from 1993. The Wheat Bix one uses the same image from 1994, slightly different card shape. But I was glad to get the 93 there. Warren rookie, signed, first version I had signed. This is one of my favorite Warren cards, the Golden Wicket. This card, was really surprised to see that he had this in his collection. Not many people outside of India collect these Indian cards. These Pepsi toss and Pepsi cards from the World Cup around 1999 and 2001. You don't really see them outside of India. I've been collecting them just because I've built my Indian network, but this has to be the only one of these in the world, I would think, that has Warren and McGraw signing it. And that's the most deadly duo, I think, of all time. So having that card signed was something I definitely wanted to get. And then probably his most iconic rookie card, the 1993. I did not have a signed copy of that, so that's amazing. Speaking of signed rookies, we got Gilchrist, Ponting, McGraw, and McGraw. So these are all rookies. Was happy to pick those up is an understatement. Just really excited to add these to my collection. And I think you guys know, but I've been building a Gilchrist signed collection. I've been building a McGraw signed collection. Been building a signed Ponting collection. And probably in a future video, I'll go through all those. But when I go through those in the future, you'll notice that a good number of them came from this deal, because there are a lot of them in this binder here. So I'm not going to go through every single card, but as I'm going through, I will just mention, like, Akram, like, we have some really amazing players here. There's a couple Laras. The Specialist card's one of my favorites. You're going to see a lot of Ponting, a lot of McGraw, a lot of Gilchrist, and a few Laras mixed in, a few Warnies, a few other players. But this section, you're going to see a lot of 90s. Some 2000s, right? You see some early 2000s. Here you got Dravid's rookie signed, one of Cumbly's first card signed. And yeah, like one of my favorite sets of this 1996 sports deck set. Sean Pollock's rookie signed. Ellen Donald, another Golden Wicket. I don't know much about McMillan. I'm assuming he was pretty good to get the Golden Wicket. There weren't a lot of Golden Wickets in that series, so I was happy to pick that up. A little Allen Border action. And again, I'm not going to mention Ponting, McGraw, and Gilchrist's name like a million times, but a lot of these cards I did not have signed, so I'll never be Nazim with my every single card ever made signed, but at least for these players that I collect, it has been pretty fun to see, how many different ones of their cards can I get signed. So that adds a lot. Now we're transitioning a little bit to the newer era. So in the new era of the Aussies, Captain Cummins has been amazing. Stark, the other great fast bowlers, and Steve Smith, obviously, I've been collecting a ton of. So, yeah, happy to add these to my collection, and these are not the only ones in here you'll see. So, you can see a good number of Starks, throw in a little bit more Ponting. This is one of Steve Smith's earlier cards. Was happy to get that one signed. Some more Starks in here. Sangakkara. This is a really special card. So this series was serial numbered to the player's jersey number. So there were 49 Steve Smith cards made. But this one actually is maybe more rare. This is the sample version, or the promo version. So not serial number on the back. I'm assuming at least 10 or 20, but probably not 49 of those went out. So was happy to get that one. Not only get the card, which I didn't have, but get a signed version of it. These are pretty iconic from the Select series. It was great to get those ones signed. And look at that. I mean, so many different cards made during this era. And a lot of these poses I just think are great. Very victorious. Like any one of these cards, you could see be framed, just the golden era of Australian cricket. Some really great designs from these eras, from these series. There's McGraw on the bottom right. There's Callis. I showed in the last video the gold version of this card, but here's a signed version of the base card. Callis again. This is a Superstars insert for Steve Smith, so that's a pretty nice insert, and getting it signed is awesome. Two more of the Superstars signed. This is the Alan Border medalist. This is a rare one. There's only 175 copies of this card made, so getting the signed version was great. I mentioned in the last video these golds are pretty tough to track down, so getting signed golds was a pretty awesome opportunity. There's a signed gold Sangakkara and a signed gold Callis. Chris Gale. Yeah, I mean, I haven't even counted how many of these different signed cards I have for some of these greats. But there's a lot in here. There's a Joe Root, getting away from the Aussies for a second. And some more golds. So signed Smith, Cummins, Stark, and Root from this Ashes series. More gold signed here. More gold signed here. So that's awesome. I really love this series, the National Pride. There's both the England and the Aussies as part of that. These milestones are really great. I didn't have any of those, but now I have a couple signed. That's Steve Smith that signed this one. His face is in the middle. Kind of signed over his face, but that's fine. These portraits are cool. They're numbered to 250, but again, this is a rarer version because it's not serial numbered. So I'm guessing this was some kind of promo. I believe that the Stark also... No, this one's actually serial numbered to 250, out of 250. Signed Ponting. But yeah, I wasn't lying, right? There's a ton in here. This is serial numbered, McGraw. And this is one of the rare Cricket Attack series. This is the World Cup set from 2015. So those are tough to find at all, much less signed. And then this is another rarer Cal Corner. This was serial numbered out of 50 as well. But yeah, so those are two of the rarest Cal Corner cards, I imagine. And I think one of these, or maybe even both, were I think they were both kind of promotional cards that were shipped out to raise funds for some nonprofits. I think McGraw's wife started a nonprofit, or they started one in her honor, breast cancer nonprofit. All right, some more amazing signatures here. These ones both being 2015, which most people would consider to be Lara's rookie cards. I think he only has one card earlier that's from a non-licensed caricature. But these are rookie inserts that are now signed in my collection. That was awesome to pick up. Here we got my my boy Ponting again, some Starks. We're going to see some cool stuff on this page. So number one, just a classy looking card for Gilly. Marnus rookies. So not only signed, but here you have the base. This is the parallel, like the silver parallel, the foil parallel. Getting both of those signed is pretty incredible. Here was a great card. It's a pretty rare insert of Bradman from 97 Select, and getting that one in a signed version is pretty cool. Some more inserts here. I think these ones are pretty special ones. 3 more Warnies. I think in total I might have gotten maybe 7 Warne autos in this deal. Simon's rookie. That was my favorite player when I lived in Australia. Simons was amazing with the bat and the ball. Here we've got the England Stars from the Signature Series. And this is 2017 Tap and Play. And these ones are interesting because they are also unnumbered. So not sure the story with these ones, but pretty special cards, and definitely not a lot of the unnumbered ones out there. I would guess quite a few less than 100. This one is special as well. So this is the Steve Smith, and this actually was part of a different deal that I had shipped to this guy, but this one's special. Can you guess why? Jersey numbered. So this is the jersey numbered out of 200. Steve Smith. Was really happy to pick that up. And David Warner, I think this is his first ever autograph. This is a very early one from 2012. Serial numbered out of 100. This is a rare box or a case hit out of 50. Sorry for the coughing. Sample Brian Lara, which is a very, very rare card. The Futura file says only 13 of those are made. I don't know if there were only 13 made. I'm guessing a few more, but that's the only record. I've actually written to Futura to ask them, and they said the best information they have is what's in the Futura file. But I've heard some people say there's probably more than 13. Still less than 30, I imagine, but very rare. Speaking of 30, this is a very rare insert for Steve Smith out of 34. And I think one of his best looking cards as well from 2022 Traders. I don't know if you can really see the, yeah, there you go, a little bit on the top, but the whole card has that, that kind of glisten to it. The Centurions is always a nice, rare insert. And then I showed these in the last video I did, but this match number 1, for whatever reason, was, I think, packaged up differently than the other ones. So was happy to pick up all of those cards, but that's one I did not show in the other video. Stokesy. We're getting near the end. Only 2 pages left here, but some good ones. Very, very rare 2014 first series gold for Cummins. These are the rare caricatures. These ones are serial numbered out of 75, so those are hard to find. And then this is the full set, and I have the redemptions to go with them. But this is the full set of the 2015, I think it is. What an awesome checklist. These are all 158 out of 175. But yeah, I mean, look at that. You got a real powerhouse lineup. I don't have a ton of Perry stuff, and the signatures of hers I do have are much more shorthand, like a little E and a little P kind of thing. You know, that you couldn't really ask for a better autograph lineup than that one there. All right, home stretch. Some good stuff here, though. Again, rare 2015 World Cup card. Steve Smith signed it. This is a gem of my collection here. I love this card, and having it signed by both of these guys is pretty awesome. Ashes. These are, you know, I've always loved this 215 card. This one is a special prototype listed as TAS1, I think that says. It might just say Tazzy, I'm not sure. And then, so that's signed, obviously. And then this is another cool one. This one is actually serial numbered out of 100, number 7. So I got a few different variations of the Steve Smith 215. I just love that card. A Mojo. So these are the Sapphire out of 30. Australian Pride signature. This is the rare gold from first year tap and play. This, I believe, I looked on Nazim's website. I think this was like a promo. I don't know if this was like one of the first Cal Corner cards he made or whatever. If anyone has any information on that, please let me know. And then the final page, this is just more of the Mojos. So all of these are numbered out of 30 or less, except for, I want to say, is it the, yeah, this one's out of 40, still really low, but I think these are pretty reasonably priced, honestly. Like, you know, look at this. You got Pat Cummins. This is from this year's, who is like the man for Australia. His test squad. It's his test squad. Out of 28. There's only 28 of these out there, and these are, you know, people always chase after the autograph cards in these series, but the autograph cards usually are slightly lesser players. I think this year's actually Gilly, which is a good one, but I think they're numbered to like 175 or something. All these cards are super low number, and you know, just pretty incredible. These black ones are all out of 28, out of 40, and then these ones are all out of 30. So hope you enjoyed. I sure am enjoying this. This was a massive deal for me. I'm sure there's people out there that do much bigger deals, but no, this is the pinnacle for me. I'll probably never do another deal this big, but it just was a perfect matchup. So thank you, mate. Appreciate the opportunity to pick up some stuff and really help my collection out, and hopefully you're happy too. Thank you.